Hello. So I am going to be doing a reading, and we're going to be talking about, I just want to see if you can, okay, and we're going to be talking about basically how you should be working your magic or using your energy during this time in your life, during this spring season, this new beginning. Yeah, how you should be using your energy. How can you work your magic? What are the rituals that you can participate in? What are the methods of manifestation and magic and root work that will benefit you during this time in your life? So yes, so this is going to be a pick a card, and in order for you to choose what you want, what card, I'm going to get 3 cards. So let me shuffle. Spirit, what is pile number 1's card? I always do 3 just because I feel like that's what I can get done. We'll see if we get more. Oh, I just saw 111. Okay, pile number 1, interact and relate. This is your card. I almost want to say that this reading is going to be about like, oh, there's the 3 cards. What you can use, like how to work your magic to best serve your community. That's kind of what it feels like this reading might be about ultimately. So that's pile number 1, interact and relate. Then we've got, oh wow, look at that. Then we've got pile number 2, back to basics, simplify, reduce, and center. That's pile number 2. And then pile number 3, have courage, strength, fearlessness, and warrior. So these are your 3. Hold on. Okay, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Okay, getting started with pile number 1. So let us see what is going on with your energy. So Spirit, what are the messages for pile number 1 when it comes to community building, working your magic, the rituals that are best going to serve pile number 1? What is the message? What are your messages for pile number 1? Or for group number 1. Ooh, 4 of Wands. Oh my goodness. I know, I need to go to sleep soon. 4 of Wands. 2 of Coins and the 10 of Pentacles. It's funny, I was using the different things. 6, 3, and the 4 of Coins. 4 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Coins. 10 of Pentacles. Well, I feel like the first thing is embracing community and understanding that you don't have to do it alone. And that you shouldn't actually do it alone because it's funner to work together. It's almost this energy of like, what is the point of having all of this wealth or having all of these creations or in these experiences if you can't share it with somebody? And there's this energy of wanting to be able to share, of wanting to be able to, when you get older, look back at your life and look at your family and the legacy that you've created. There's an energy of wanting to have a legacy. And you want your legacy to be related to like your family, to the creations that you've now given, that you gave birth to the seeds that you've planted. It's almost like what you're doing in this period of your life is planting seeds in order to have something to look back on when you get older, when you're like a grandparent, when you're in your old age, when you're at the end of your life, and see that you didn't spend your life only thinking of yourself. You didn't spend your life only working towards, your own goals, but you ended up building something that would go beyond you, that would extend beyond your circle, beyond your individual experience. There's this idea of wanting to build with somebody and create the foundation of your legacy right now. There's this, I feel like it's definitely connected to the heart chakra, like doing like heart chakra opening meditations, or positions even in the body, and just kind of floating around in your energy might be helpful. And there's also this energy of like cleansing your energy and cleansing the spirit through water or with water. Like there's this energy of working with water, working with the ocean, working with even the color blue, and maybe even just the throat chakra, but definitely working with this fluid energy in order to cleanse your own energy, and also like awaken your ancestors and have them also tell you what it is that they want to work on. There's just this energy of focusing on doing for others. Like I almost feel like when like part of your life is going to be like you get the most fulfillment or joy from your life when you're living in collaboration or in the honor of others. Like I feel like you're a community person, and that makes sense with the card that you have, interact and relate, community, family, tradition. It feels like you feel most fulfilled when you are honoring or giving to others, and not in a way where you are discounting yourself, but just that you're just probably meant to be somebody who's really a part of a community and really contributes. And there's this energy of working with your family, working with your ancestors to, bring them healing and make their manifestations come true, their dreams come true, and creating for your descendants, like creating legacy. You just want to have something that you give back. So there's also this idea of like gardening might actually be a ritual that is really helpful for you, especially because we're in the season of planting seeds. That might be something that actually is very meaningful, and would be setting intention with the seeds that you plant. Even if you're just planting, potatoes or different seeds for different vegetables and little carrots and things like that. Setting in your own intentions for community, for the world, for yourself, for your family, with each of those seeds, I think would actually be really helpful. And there's also part of this thing, the part of the ritual that you can explore during this time. The magic you can work is breaking out of your own box and breaking out of this energy of like doing it all on your own, doing it all yourself, like asking for help, leaning on others, going out and working with others to create is going to be a lot more fruitful for you and a lot more fulfilling than staying in your own bubble and multitasking all on your own and doing it all on your own. So there's this energy of kind of getting out and going and exploring your what you want to create with others, alongside other people. And especially like there's this energy of like romance and energies that emphasize like connection and caretaking and creation, co-creation, bringing all of that energy into your life. So just doing activities with others is a ritual. Planting seeds, gardening is a ritual. Getting out of your comfort zone, exploring new paths, walking a different way, listening to a different kind of music, asking for help with a project that you would normally do on your own, spending time with your family, being the listener and not always the talker. It's just supporting, guiding, helping children, like babysitting might be helpful during this time, because kids teach us so much and they help us remember that life doesn't need to be taken so seriously. And there's this idea of learning from the younger ones in your community and beginning to take some weight off of your shoulders just through that simple action, while also giving back. And letting there's also this experience of letting your parents and your grandparents and your ancestors kind of like nurture you a little bit and take care of you a little bit and kind of baby you, like letting yourself become a child again. There's also that energy of like the inner child. So inner child meditations and healing might also be helpful during this time. But overall, it's not meant to be super serious. It's meant to be intentional, but intentional mixed with the energy of play and love and family and community. There's just this energy of making sure that your heart's in it. And if your heart's in it, then you're going places. and not on your own. Okay? Spirit. What are the messages for group number 1? What are the messages for group number 1? Ooh. Métis, wisdom. Oh, okay. Wisdom. I feel like there's this energy of allowing yourself to be enlightened and like allowing yourself to be like adorned and fed into, allowing spirit to give you energy, allowing spirit and your spirit team and your ancestors to give you life. Like there's this energy of letting yourself be taken care of in a way, especially like divinely, like allowing yourself to be spiritually nurtured and enriched. I like get like this lioness energy and this like lion's mane energy from this card. And when I think about it, I think about the strength card and I think about the woman that's, you know, holding the lion. And in that way, it's like this creature that can obviously take care of themselves also deserves to be taken care of and be nurtured. You know, we're all of Spirit's children. We're all Spirit's children. We're all God's children. We're all creatures of the earth. We all have parents. You know, we all come from a higher source, another creature, another group of people that take care of us and nurture us, and we should allow ourselves to be enriched in that way. And I feel like there is wisdom to be found in the experience of like naivety and in the experience of like childlike wonder and being taught and being shown and being given and receiving. And there's wisdom in learning how to allow yourself to become gentle and soft and malleable, and there's wisdom in learning how to allow others to treat you and to open you up, to give you gifts of new awareness. Just this energy of being soft to opening, not having to be cracked open, but softly being able to open up and allow spirit to place new light into you, new awareness, new love into you, and allow your ancestors to adorn you. You know, to having those barriers be down enough to be fed into, to be worked on, to receive a makeover, to become enlightened. You know, enlightening requires a shedding of the ego to realize that you're allowed to receive from spirit, like allowing yourself to receive downloads, allowing yourself to receive messages, divine messages that are meant for you. There's this energy of becoming soft enough, to becoming gentle in the arms of spirit, to allowing yourself to be held so that you can receive that wisdom. And it's kind of like children, the way that they're so open to learning, they're so open to being taught, they're so open to receiving, because they have to, it's part of their survival. But that openness makes them so wonderful and makes their minds so creative and imaginative, and that's why they're able to see so much of this world and this universe beyond, you know, the 3D, beyond the physical. And they are so enlightened because they are so soft to receiving. And there's this energy of becoming soft to reception, to not seeing it as a negative thing, but as something that is actually very empowering. And becoming soft to inexperience as well. Like the other card that I think of for this pile is the Persephone card with inexperience. What are the messages for number 1? Spirit. What other messages for pile number 1? So you're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. And then the ones that came out were get grounded, empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature, So that, again, that like I just like heard burial or said burial in my mind. So like maybe burial is like a different is a ritual that you can be bringing into your life. Burying seeds, burying the old, burying the dead in your life, like concepts that are now dead, versions of yourself that are now dead, burying that in the sand and the dirt. And you can bury that by planting a seed. You can bury that by writing on a piece of paper and I don't know, like biodegradable paper. I'm pretty sure all paper is biodegradable, but I don't know. Burying something, burying a bay leaf that you write on in the dirt, but there's just this act of burial. And also working with the trees. Tree spirits might be an energy that will be healing for you. Talking with the trees, meditating with the trees. And flowers, like finding your scent. There's something here around finding your scent and working with flower magic. Maybe this is also just about like the divine feminine, like this energy of, ooh, if you have a yoni, there's this energy of working with the yoni, and using those gifts, especially during like following like your moon cycle, and manifesting along with like what the energies that come up during different times of your cycle, what you feel, just kind of following the flow of your nature and how that works. And it doesn't need to be like anybody else's. It's about your own experience. So it's also about getting grounded within yourself to identify what your desires are based off of where you are in your moon cycle. But yeah, there's this energy of working with flower magic and the tree spirits and burial. Working with burial as a ritual, kind of similar to planting seeds, but it's more of a death energy, whereas planting seeds is more of a life energy. And then you have keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand behind you. I also feel like Sekhmet is a goddess that is kind of here to show you the different sides, like the different spectrum. Like Sekhmet she can be seen as the wounded healer, as the mother, as the destroyer. And she's very powerful, and she can be intimidating and kind of ruthless. But that's one extreme. And on the other end, she can be very gentle and soft and loving. And she's all of these things at once. And it's kind of like, allowing yourself to go from being Sekhmet to like Beset, allowing yourself to exist at either end and finding the balance, to not always have to be the warrior, but to allow yourself to be nurtured, to be taken care of. And keepers of the earth. Ancient, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Yeah, you don't have to do it alone. And it's almost like there's also this idea of you might enjoy like creating like a song in like I also feel like your collaborations, because I was talking about like that co-creating collaborative efforts, that's not just with people in the 3D, but that can also be with your spirit guides and your ancestors. And like you might enjoy writing a song along with your ancestors. Like maybe you sit down and you set the intention that you're going to work with your ancestors to create something, and maybe you create a painting, or you write a song, or you write a story, or you create a dance, something artistic, creative that comes from both you and your ancestors. Feels like a ritual that might be really nurturing and fulfilling and exciting for you. And I was thinking about that because I was thinking about how whales, I think it's whales, have like the song, and that's how they speak to each other from across the ocean. And it's like that could end up becoming like a way that you connect or call in your ancestors through this song that you write together, that you create together. So there's power in creating that with them. And there's something around, and the many different landscapes, or like realms or earth. Yeah. Wow. Totally like never seen that before. There's so many dimensions to these photos. But there's this aspect of allowing yourself to work with like every part of yourself, every frequency, every era, every lifetime. calling in all of your lifetimes and kind of creating a collective song for your spirit, for your soul, that taps into every incarnation. This also might have something to do with past life healing, but I definitely feel like there is a project, a creative project that your ancestors from many, many lifetimes, not just this incarnation, want to collaborate with you on. And it's going to create, like, it's going to be a way that you guys kind of meet or gather in this song. You gather, or in this project, in this creation, you are all gathered together in that spirit. That's really cool. Okay, I think we'll just pull one more card. What is the message for pile one? The final message. Connect with past loved ones. Connect with passed on loved ones. Ancestors. Okay, that's funny. So, wow, look at that. So you have begin writing now. What were we just talking about? Writing a song, create, express, inspire. Honor the deities around you. Prayers, offerings, help. And teach and share. Instill, instruct, educate, which is the card that came out for what this reading should be about. But I think that this is so perfect because it kind of taps into everything that we were talking about. Like with the teach and share, and especially with all the kids there, we talked about working with kids and giving back to your community and kind of serving yourself by serving others. And then with honor the deities around you, first of all, I think Sekhmet is just coming through as another energy, as a grounding energy, but also prayers, offerings, help. You don't have to do it alone. Working with the energies that are surrounding you, especially in your spiritual team, to support you on your journey. And then begin writing now, being creative and collaborating with, and the honor the deities around you is facing the begin writing now card, which makes me feel like it's a collaboration. They want to collaborate with you creatively. And even with them sitting in a circle and like them having that book open, and then they're writing here and here with this tablet, like this tablet is is a form of communication in ancient Kemet. And it just feels like this is like you and your spiritual team. And even with the kids being here again, and with the teach and share, it's almost like allowing yourself to be taught. Honor the deities around you, and it's honoring them by allowing them to teach you. It's honoring them by allowing them to give to you. It's honoring them by allowing yourself to receive from them. That's why that's why they're in your life. That's why they chose to be part of your spiritual team. And there is definitely something with the crown chakra. So heart chakra and crown chakra, I feel, are being activated and being asked to open up. Okay, I think that's it. So thank you so much, pile one. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you later. Okay, pile two, here we go. Pile two, this is for you. There's something with sixes in your pile, I feel. Okay. That's funny. Okay. I'll say the first thing that came to mind. The first thing that came to mind with the high priestess, you have the high priestess here. Then you have the Six of Wands. I wanted to say the Six of Swords, but it's Six of Wands. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Coins. In the back of the deck, you have the Ace of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. And the first thing that came to mind, especially because I said there's something with sixes with you, was breaking out of this imprisoning perspective of magic that comes from like the religious identities that we're brought up with, breaking out of feeling like certain things are evil or that like darkness is bad and like things like that, breaking out of those mindsets in order to free yourself, free your mind, and begin to build your own path without considering, what these institutions and societies and regimes tell us is good and bad. Deciding for yourself, creating your own moral compass, going in your own direction. Okay. I just feel like there are like spiritual gifts that are being awoken within you. And I think for you, the concept that the spiritual is becoming physical is relevant. And I feel like there's this effort to make sure that you don't deny what's coming up for you. Don't deny what you resonate with just because it might be kind of against what you've grown up believing is good and bad, what you've grown up believing God likes and doesn't like. There's this understanding that what resonates for you is for you. It's meant for you. It doesn't need to resonate with your family. It doesn't need to resonate with the systems that you follow or the institutions that you believe in. It needs to resonate with you. And if it does, that's because there's a connection there. And it doesn't mean that maybe that won't shift over time or that it won't change. And even things that you resonated with before, maybe you don't resonate with them now. But it feels like, especially spiritually, like you've tapped into like a new experience or a new belief system, or like something has become true for you that is really about you and maybe not so much connected to other people or to whatever you're surrounded by, to your environment. And it can be kind of isolating, but I feel like your ancestors are encouraging you to follow down this path, especially intuitively. Like I feel like there's like gifts that are waking up for you, and they want you to follow down this path because there's freedom there, specifically of your mind and of like an attachment to a regime. It's like you're getting to plant your own seeds. It's like you're getting to create your own world, your own life for yourself, your own way of thinking. And that is going to be so, so freeing. It really just feels like freedom of the mind by breaking out of or unlearning this need to conform and match and persist with what others believe. And it's interesting because I think that's why like sixes are a relevant number, because like think of 666 and the energy that has attached to it when it comes to like Christianity, and the fact that it's seen as like an evil number. And maybe you might believe that it is an evil number, but there are many people who don't. And so for them, it's not. And if there's like something like that starts to become challenged in your reality, where something that maybe you did used to believe, or maybe your family believes, or your community believes, or the country that you're living in believes, the people that you're around believe, that you no longer believe or that you never believed. And it's like your ancestors are encouraging you to go down that path and not believe and believe in whatever it is that really resonates with you, that whatever it is that's truly true to you. And it feels like this is something that is true to you at your core, especially with the High Priestess here being a child. It feels like this is something that resonates with you, that has resonated with you from the beginning. This is something that has resonated with your spirit always. But we go through the conditionings that we go through, and we come into the environments that we come into. And so we're obviously shaped and altered by those, but there's this idea of breaking free. of what others think, even if it's only in your own mind that you are free, even if it's only in your own internal world that you are free. You know, color your world the way that you want it to be colored. Bring life to the areas of your life that you want to bring life to, and allow others to fade into the distance, allow others to fade away. But there's this energy of making sure that you're focused on yourself and not looking towards your community for validation and acceptance. That you find that within yourself, that if nobody is praising or screaming your name, that you trust that your ancestors support you. And that's through trusting yourself and supporting yourself. But there's this energy of not looking outside of yourself for validation or confirmation that what is true for you is true. Nothing can give you that confirmation. It's only going to come from you. And you need to trust that. So there's like a lot of spiritual growth that's coming along with this independence and moving away from reliance on outside validation and outside systems of education. It's like gaining your own re-education through remembering what is true for your core, for your spirit. And it feels like this is coming because there are gifts awakening within you that are helping you to grow seeds that will really nourish you and help you understand who you are and who you want to be and what you want to do and what you believe in this life. Because it feels like your compass, your moral compass guides you, but you want to stand for something that you actually truly believe in and not just follow the routine of what you've been raised into believing. Okay. Oh wow, look at that. Kali, liberation. We talked about freedom. We know what song is in my head is Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. That song by John Mayer. I don't know how it goes really, but Slow Dancing in a Burning Room is the song that came up when I was looking at the High Priestess. What's the message for the second group? Co-creation, Spider-Woman, stillness, Benzigen, beauty, communication, and the in-between. Co-creation, Spider-Woman. This made me think of the indigenous people and what lights you up. And like, they have a belief, like indigenous people are not a monolith, but I'm just thinking about indigenous belief systems and how they're now making a comeback. But for the past few centuries, because of colonialism and the systems that we engage with and religious institutions as well, their belief systems were demonized and vilified. And so, I mean, especially like the way that Christianity had been altered by colonialism and by like racism and gender and patriarchy and all these things. A lot of the indigenous belief systems were vilified and made to seem evil. And it's because it's almost like they accessed a different perspective. Like if we've been living from our right side of the brain when it comes to our belief systems, then they were living from the left side. And it was lit up over there. And there was light over there where there was darkness over here. And that was in balance for them. But from another perspective, you could see that and think that that was evil or that was wrong or that was isolating or that, was too much of a challenge to your own authority, your own confidence. And that's because the systems that try to make it so that nothing else can coexist with them, those systems are insecure. Those systems need to work on their own assurance in themselves and their own capacity to exist alongside others. But there's this energy of understanding that what is meant for you co-creates with you. What is not meant for you tries to destroy everything else, tries to make you isolated and only a part of this. if you are a part of a belief system where you're not allowed to think outside of the box, where you're not allowed to travel to different realms and be open-minded about what's possible, that system isn't co-creating with you. That system isn't supporting your growth. It's making you stay small and stay the same. And you want to work with an energy that inspires you to grow, that inspires you to access all parts of yourself, to really feed yourself and work on your growth. And there's specifically this energy around indigenous beliefs that might really be supporting you during this time, and like accessing like a different part of your brain and like focusing on what lights you up, lighting up like a different aspect, lighting up a different side of yourself that you haven't given a lot of nourishment or light to, you know, like switching the perspective. It's like, it's funny, this example is coming to mind, but because we have the spider woman, I was looking at the spider, and like, there's been a lot of videos popping up in my timeline, and even on my Facebook of like, you know, we don't kill spiders anymore, we just take them outside, you know? And it's like that switch in that mindset. It's like a simple switch, you would think, but it's taken a while to get there for some of us. And for, you know, you could say from one perspective, oh no, just kill it because it'll just be easier and I just don't want it in the house. But why don't you just take it outside and do it a different way where it's still not in your space, but you don't have to kill it. It doesn't have to end. And there's that energy where it's like, this doesn't need to be destroyed, or just a different way of thinking, a different way of approaching life. It feels like is what they're bringing into your world, and what you're up against is a system that wants you to only have one way, there only be one possibility, there only be one answer, and that's just not the case for you. Though there are many, many answers, there are many, many ways that things can end up. Yeah, there's another sec. Yeah. Yeah, but with that spider woman, it's just like opening your mind up, freeing your mind, or freeing specifically like a portion of your mind that has just kind of been sitting in the darkness, that's just kind of been blocked off, opening yourself up to that and to new ways of thinking that actually might be very ancient for you. This might be, belief systems that you really were invested in past lives, and now maybe not so much in this incarnation, but they're coming back up because they have something to offer you, and being open to that, which might mean like a real shift in your beliefs overall, but it's for the best. It's really positive. Okay. What else is going on, Spirit? What else is happening for for some reason I was like, did I already shuffle for this? But no. What else is happening with pile 2? Pile 2. Anything else for pile 2? Any other messages for pile 2? Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Yes. Oh wow. What did I think came out? Because I totally thought it was a different card. I thought Trust the Niggle came out. That's funny. I don't know why. Maybe because it's right there. Yeah, I thought Trust the Niggle came out. Okay, so the cards that came out for you. So Transformation at the back of the deck, which I think is powerful. And then you added Trust the Niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Your guidance is divinely guided, Akasha, and which has to do with, like, Akasha is the book of your life, of your many, many lives as a soul. So there's that, those ancestral, those ancient gifts being awoken, and your ancestors were present, especially in the beginning of this reading. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north, which I love. You're already doing it. And answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? This all just sounds like confirmation to me. Confirmation that you're being led by spirit, and I feel like you're already a person who has beliefs. You might already believe in God. You might already believe in spirit, but I feel like you're being asked to do a little bit of a pivot. It's like turning your gaze a little bit in a different direction, but it's a direction that is actually pointing towards your true north, your north node. It's a direction that's actually pointing you home. And you were already kind of in that realm, but you were kind of just wandering around the realm, and now you've got a direction. But it might go against a little bit of what you've always believed. And there's just energy of do you feel safe when you think about these things? Then it's probably what's meant for you. And not safe in the way that you don't feel challenged, but safe in the way where you feel at home. Your gut isn't going all over the place. You're not feeling attacked or scared. You can feel scared, but you're not feeling in danger. If it's challenging, that's normal, but you feel safe within that. Akasha, your guidance, is divinely guided. Spirit is walking you through this experience, walking you down this path. And that trust the niggle is Spirit being we're here giving you many signs in your body, in your environment, to show you, oh yeah, keep facing your true north. Your north node. I would look into your north node sign in your astrological chart, because I feel like it might be connected to this new belief system that's awakening, or these new gifts, or whatever this shift is. And yeah, trusting your soul, what your soul is calling you to do. And it kind of feels like there's not the only resistance is your own hesitation based off of outside perspectives, and that doesn't matter. So don't allow that to prevent you from moving forward with confidence. Okay, so at the back of the deck, we have nature spirits, elves, fairies, and rock formations. And then we have enjoy new beginnings, celebrate, socialize, change, be thankful, gratitude, appreciation, and harmony. I feel like this is about recognizing and appreciating the spirits, the spiritual elements that are now being awoken within your life. Because I feel like on some level, this is something that you've prayed for, and this is something that you've asked for again and again, and something you've been, manifesting, hoping, wishing, praying for. And now it's coming into fruition, and there's this element of being grateful for it, being thankful, and appreciating that this is actually a wish come true. Appreciating that it's actually very special to have this spiritual energy coming into your life, and that this is a gift, that this is not a burden, that this is a gift. And allowing yourself to really revel in that experience, allowing, it feels like the end of a dark night, and you're finding the gift, you're finding the meaning of this, you're realizing what it was all for, and that is priceless. So there's a need to kind of sit with that energy and be very grateful for where you are at right now, because you're in a really good place, and in a place of an awakening, and people pray for awakenings. Awakenings are gifts. New awareness, new understandings of yourself, new, awareness about your path. It's a gift. To be guided is such a gift. So there's a need to really appreciate what's happening right now. Even as scary as it might be, you have the capacity to be grateful for it, and so you should exercise that capacity, because it'll also help you integrate into this energy more and bring that magic into, your grounded experience. It's ready to strike, and it's ready to kind of move into your life with a vigor, and it just needs your permission, and that permission comes through gratitude. Okay. So that's your reading, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay. And now we're doing pile 3. It's like a yellow tint. Pile 3. Ooh, I just saw 444. Okay. Pile 3, it's funny, there's numbers been associated with every pile. Pile 1 was 1s, pile 2 was 6s. I wonder if you will be 4s. Okay, you have the garden. Ooh, major arcana. And, oh my god, look at that. Between 3 and 5 is 4. That's so funny. And 3 and 5 equals 8. 8 is made out of 4 times 2. So I wonder if you'll be 4. So you have the garden and the Hierophant. Major arcana for both. I don't know, I just thought of Jesus on the cross. Then you have the Daughter of Knives at the back of the deck, and then 9 and 10. That's interesting. I don't know why I thought of the cross, like Jesus on the cross, like, and specifically of like resurrection. The faith required to like resurrect, or the faith required to grow your beanstalk. Like, what is the sacrifice that has to be made, or something like that? I almost feel like pile 3 is a amalgamation, a combination of pile 1 and pile 2. Like, you've already been through pile 1, you've already been through pile 2, and you're now at pile 3. Like, that's like you've already been through whatever pile 1 and pile number 2 needed to focus on, or what their messages were. Been there, done that. I actually feel like it's interesting. So there's a few things. So one was like this willingness to carry the load, and like sometimes how like sacrifice, but through hard work and hard labor, is actually more fulfilling. And for some reason it was making me think of like, because there's these two women and two of the cards where like I just feel an emphasis on the spine or on their back, and like because they're doing like almost like back-breaking work, but it's almost like that kind of work and that kind of sacrifice and labor is actually more like spiritually fulfilling, or is actually, it does more, it serves you more. You know, like the way she's like bent over kind of like that, and like there's an emphasis on her back, and then like with her there's definitely an emphasis on the spine. It just feels like though that is more enriching than like kind of this energy of like sitting around and filling your energetic space with all of these spiritual conduits and like all of these things. But like it feels like the physical labor is what is actually more, it's what's more meaningful to you. And maybe that's why it's like Jesus on the cross, right? Because it was like, it's like a very physical experience, a very physical sacrifice. And I'm not saying that that's like what was, you know, that's what really brought meaning to his life or anything like that. But it's just an emphasis on the physical. And it feels like there's this energy of like what brings, I don't know, strength to your experiences, or what brings like new awareness, what really brings you learning, what really brings you guidance, is like physical, is like the physical. I'm sorry, because it's just like, this shit is literally going like, oop, 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 like really actively. I just find that so interesting. I don't know what it is. Anyways, yeah. So I don't know if this is for one, being out in nature more. There's a need to be out in nature more and spend more time doing like kind of backbreaking work. Not backbreaking work in the way where you are actually hurting yourself, but just backbreaking work in the way that you are physically involved, that your body is involved, because it's almost like that is what is actually meaningful to you. that's what actually brings you the lessons, you know? It's that kind of sacrifice that really helps you understand and progress and move to the next level, it feels like. And that's what's luxury to you, like being able to create from your body, being able to work from your body is what makes you feel connected to a higher power and what makes you feel connected to your own wealth, your own sense of independence. And understanding that like physical dedication, physical devotion is an act of prayer, and it's just as spiritually valid as going to church or reading or, doing research and blah, blah, blah. Like there are many ways to be a student of the universe and a student of your own spirituality, a student of your own learning, your own love. And I feel like you do that through the physical. And I feel like there's this energy of like building, gardening, foraging, just very physical activities and activities with the earth. There's a need to like get outside or like get out of like these very indoor, insular spaces that are like more mental or emotional or like intangible and elusive, and just get into the physical and find spirit within the physical. Okay. What else for pile 3? Pile 3. It's interesting because I don't know why, but 4 in this sense did make me think of like the body. And like the body as your home, the body as your church, the body as your spiritual center. So activating the body, using the body is like praying. It's like going to church. No, you got church in the morning, but you're doing God's work, you're going in. She ain't trying to hurt nobody. She's just trying to do the best she can. Happy on her own, with her friends, without a man. All these cards came out, but we're not going to take them all. What we might take is Earth. You have Earth and Illusion, Humor and Mastery, Beauty, Bonsai, Transformation. It's like almost like after you do all of this learning, after you complete all the steps, after you become enlightened, after you reach like the goal, after you reach the pinnacle, what's left but to return home, but return back to your roots, but return back to the basics? And for you, it feels like back to the basics is to the body, to master the human experience, which is really all about being in a body. And to find the joy in that, and to find out why that was created as the experience, not from the place of struggle, but from the place of love and empowerment. Why the body? Like, find the message, find the truth in that. Why do we have a body? Yeah, there's just so many lessons that your body can teach you, and it's almost like allowing that to be your spiritual teacher, allowing that to be your priest, commune with your body and figure out, find the answers, find spirit within there. What is your body saying to you? And there's a lot of forgiveness and healing to be done around the body, around beauty, around the way that you take care of yourself, around the way that you constantly shed skin and transform. There's this energy of really giving to your body and allowing your body to be your teacher, which requires a lot of bravery, because ultimately you're allowing yourself to be a teacher and being a student of yourself in a way where, we're constantly, being in a position where we're controlling the body and trying to navigate the body. And like sometimes people call it like meat suits and things like that. So to step into this place of reverence for your body especially if you begin to see your ancestors in your body. That's like it's a shift, but it's ultimately, it's like, if you can see spirit in your body, then spirit really does end up living within you, and then you're really moving in spirit and really end up entering this portal space, which is Earth, which is Gaia, in her energy of being both the elusive of spirit and the grounded of Earth. So then you begin to really understand Gaia, which might be, which it made me think of this card, the Nature Spirits card. This is also this, like, when you understand the body, you understand this planet and why it's such a magical place. I don't know what that's all about. I'm super intrigued, but I'm also like, what? Okay, anyways, but you're doing God's work, you're going in. She ain't trying to hurt nobody. She's just trying to do the best she can. Happy on her own, with her friends, without a man. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. It's all about the body. And then Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. That's funny to me. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, coming out. And then we have pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Don't dim to fit in, flipped out and made itself come out. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? We have yes. Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Looking at yourself. What about your body triggers you? Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? It might be there's this energy of simplifying. And the age of light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Right, it's like you're kind of at the end, you're at the pinnacle, not the pinnacle, you're past the pinnacle to the point where you're returning back to basics. Like, it's like how elders and babies are like one and the same in the wisest ways and in the most naive and childlike ways. And they're both, and it's powerful because of that, because it's the full spectrum and understanding the value of every stage, especially the beginnings and the ends. And there's this energy of returning to the basics, which is the most powerful and most potent place, the birth center, the womb. And that's the body in this case. It's just a different perspective. It's this energy of like wholeness, but also multi-layered. And it's just, when you understand how complex and interesting the body is, then you really begin to understand the universe. It's just like this opening up. If you knew you wouldn't be judged, if you knew that there was no expectations for what the spiritual journey is supposed to be, and if you just chose to focus on your body and that was it, how would that be? Or maybe not your body, whatever it is for you, but it does feel like this emphasis on something that seems quite simple in the physical, but it's actually so complex. And even if it is simple, like there's a gift to simplicity. It's accessible. And that's why people fear it so much to the point where you want to make everything complicated. When you stop overthinking, things become really interesting. Just saying yes to allowing yourself to just understand and learn about yourself, allowing yourself to accept the nuances and what's just quite simple. And there's this energy of like Arizona or like canyons or like the Grand Canyon and like rich like soil and that type of landscape and energy and like rocky terrain. There's like mountains and like red mountains and soil, but like mountainous energy. And I think that's because it's like, it's the journey, you know? She ain't trying to hurt nobody. She's just trying to do the best she can. With friends without a man. I mean, power number 3. Power number 3, Earth Magic at the back of the deck. With clear your mind, be present, focus, embrace. balance yourself, direction, growth, life stages, and notice the signs, investigate symbols, nature, spirits. That all seems right. It feels like this pile, the message is quite simple, and it's just about grounding and kind of becoming one with the earth again and remembering what this experience is about, what it's for. And that's defined for yourself, but there is this like nature is our greatest teacher, and there's this element of that being understood in this lifetime, and seeing the way that spirit speaks through nature, spirit speaks through the body of this earth, spirit speaks through your own body, and being present in that experience enough to hear that voice and to honor it and to cherish it. And that's learning through the bugs and the birds and the creatures and the bees. That's learning through the leaves and the feathers and the forest. That's learning through the soil. That's learning through the air and the elements and the wind and the water and the sky. That's learning through all that is nature, all that is earth, all that is body, all that is physical. And understanding how complex the physical in its own definition becomes through that grounding. Okay. And it has everything to do with simplifying, it feels like. Focus on the body. Okay. So pile 3, that's your reading. Thank you. Bye.